Hey guys and gals, thanks for tuning back into Ron's Recreations and my crew cab conversion. I wanted to take time and give you an update on where we're at on the crew cab progress. I have been doing some stuff off camera, but I wanted to give you an idea where we're at so far. All right, we starting with the cab. I got these corkscrews all cleaned up. I just got to find the bolts. This piece here and these bolts. That way we can get the cab ready. But here's where we're at in the cab. I know that Duddy over at Duddy's Adventures thinking about putting in a B-pillar body mount, and I decided to do the same. I'm using a little bit of three-dimensional string measuring to give me an idea where to put this mount. And so far, right here is dead center. I don't really want to cut a hole in the floor, so we'll get into that later. But we are going to go ahead and put the B-pillar mount in. It's going to slow me down getting the cab in paint, but I think it's a safety thing. I think other crewbies ought to do the same, but you know, to each their own. But we're gonna measure out and put in the shifter hole for the 4x4. And then I wanted to bring you up to date. We had we started prepping all the frame pieces. Here, let me put Miss Hannah down a minute. Oh, there she goes. All right, Hannah. I started prepping all the pieces for the frame. They're all kind of run together. And then I started organizing all the hardware for everything. But this is how I did it. It's a little easier so you can see everything, where everything goes. And we'll be replating a lot of this and blackening some stuff, and still got to make sure. I'm still missing a few pieces here and there, but not very much. But this is how we're kind of keeping things sorted out so that everything ought to go back together really quickly. Fuel straps for the ram charger tank, the body mounts. Got the rear Cummins factory leaf springs all stripped down. We're gonna do a spring tips that I learned about on Diesel Truck Resource from Jim Lane. And then my brand new 2-inch leveling lift front leaf springs. They are brand new, but I can't remember if they're Skyjacker or Rough Country, but I'll tell you, whoever was in charge the day they made these, that was in charge of putting the coating on, or the paint or whatever they put on it, honestly, my review is the guy should be fired. He did a half-assed job for what I paid for those. You know, I stripped them all down. We're going to retreat them. I'll show you all that. Did some other pieces, getting stuff stripped, battery tray, the hood hinges while I had them out. We tried Cora-Seal. I'm not real happy with the finish. I think it looks terrible. But we also had, I did this 2 weekends ago, and Florida weather, man. Florida weather changed on us halfway through, so it kind of foobarred some of this. So we're going to have to go back over all of it. Murphy's Law, huh? These are the Jungle Gym front, rear frame leaf spring mounts. Part of the Reese hitch. Power steering plate. Rear fuel centering, or the factory diesel tank centering bracket. All right, but by doing this body mount, what I want to do, I want to show you where we've gotten so far on the frame. My buddy hasn't come over and welded it yet, but we're going to, here's the frame so far. But let me go get the stand. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Come here, shop assistant. Hey, one of the things we did also was I did some string, three-dimensional string measuring on the frame also. This was to reconfirm our width, reconfirm our length from center hole to center hole, which is about 77 inches. I wanted to show you what we're thinking of, or what I'm thinking about doing with the body mount. And we got the second to rear cab mount that goes in the wheel well arch right there off the Ram Charger. We cut the top off, and by putting the plate and the mount, the holes already line up. So right off the bat, that's a time saver. We just got to trim that bracket up, or that plate up a little bit, and that'll give us our B-pillar mount. Tomorrow we're going to be working on finalizing the location of both this one and the passenger side, drill the holes. We are going to take about an inch off the mount because it's too low. I'm going to take about an inch of this off because it's a little too low. But you'll never see this mount because the cab comes down. The cab comes down to here, so you won't really see this mount anyways, unless you get on your hands and knees and look under. I really think this is a good safety upgrade for these crew cabs. That's a lot of weight on those cabs to ride on. 1, 2, 3, 4 mounts. Now we're spreading that weight between 6 mounts. Duddy, that's a good idea, rock crawling a death crew cab that you're building. Tim, you might consider it, because Tim, you might consider it with all the kids and stuff. You know, it's just a safety feature. It just adds that much more rigidity to the cab and the frame, makes that cab safer, because you know now you got 2 more mounts holding it to the cab. But that's what I'm doing.